Amaranthus caudatus, agroplants.org, also known as love lies bleeding plant or love lies bleeding amaranth. So this hibiscus, it's an annual plant, can also grow as an ornamental but mostly used for the edible, the opposite. It can grow for an edible plant, it's edible and it's actually tasty, but mostly grow for the ornamental, for the flowers. So before we start, I just want to say I really feel that the person that I bought the seeds from him, it totally lied to me. I wanted the red one. So if you choose to grow, choose the red flowers. They are just much more beautiful. And this is something important because, as you can see, the white is just pale and unappealing, at least in my opinion. It's not what I wanted to grow, and when I discovered it, it was too much late. Maybe next year I will, this year it will start to be. I will grow the red. Finally, I will get the right seeds on time. So before we start the video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want, you can always do some like. If you like plants, of course, you see this video, so it means that this is a channel for you. Also, don't forget that you can purchase it. And if you purchase, this is donation. You have a link below, link in the right top side. And if you purchase, this is donation. Can grow in variety of climate, Mediterranean, subtropical, temperate, or tropical climate. Can grow in hardiness zone of 2+, and the leaves are edible. This is an option to grow it. And leaves are green, not something special. And flowers can be red or white, and uh, even when you check, apparently you can get different things than what you buy, but this is a common problem in all the e-commerce when you buy seeds. But except this, by the way, this is why I put the red picture on the top and not the white one. So how to grow it? It requires rich soil, moist soil, mulch, especially when the plant is young. And sometimes the plant needs to get support, because without support it will fall. Except this, you can start to grow it by seedlings, or even cutting. It's not really recommend to grow it by cutting, because usually when you start by cutting it's late. But if you start to plant it, sow it in the winter, and in the spring you have few cuttings that you already prepare, it will be much better than you will start by seed in the spring. It will be faster. Except this, when you grow from cutting, you need high humidity, cares at moist soil, and take stems that didn't bloom, and cut the new growth every few eyes, let's say. So you have a separation, and this is the moment to take. The moment that it's separate from the main branch, you can take in the base to cut it with, of course, sterile knife, and just to create a cutting. And then you have a plant. Be aware that this plant is aggressive and might be invasive, although not really. There is so many seeds here, and it's reseed itself, but it's a fragile plant next to other kind of amaranths that are really invasive. So this is, let's say, light invasive. Except this planting season will be in the spring, and if you have the option to start by indoors, so start in the middle of the winter and transfer it after the last frost. When you accept this, as the experience that I have with amaranth, I have here a hardiness zone of 10B. The main things that I wanted to say is that a lot of time it just the seeds fall on the floor, on the soil, and it just grow in whatever season they want, and they bloom and they grow well. So not like in the summer that they are really growing in the spring, but it's also possible that it will bloom in the winter, and even in the early spring will grow all the winter and will bloom in the spring. And it's possible, but in colder climate for sure it won't happen. It's too much cold. Major pests are aphids, proidenia, and slugs, especially when the plant is young. Pruning season can be all the year, especially for dead parts, especially if you grow it for reason of ornamental. It's important to cut all the dead parts, and for every reason, better not to leave dead parts that might be infected in something that you are not aware of this. So it's better to cut infected part and just get rid of it. If the plant blooms super early, It means that it's barely grown and it's already start to have stems of blooming, and it's too much early. Just cut them and wait a little bit more to let the plant grow bigger. It will be more impressive. In the size of the plant will be from 40 centimeter to 1 meter, so it means 16 to 40 inches. It means 1 until 3 feet. And in the right condition, it's a fast growing plant that require average amount of water. Uh, Grow better in full sun, but possible almost full sun. Uh, but except this, it doesn't require so much. And you can grow it also in a container. A container will be usually from 5 to 8 liters. It will be enough. Some cultivars are bigger, so you need to increase. So it means from 1 until 1.5 gallons. Require average amount of water, keep the soil moist, and except this, put some fertilizer. Especially in the beginning of the season, nitrogen, it's not a bad idea. It will prevent from the plant to bloom. And just in the beginning of the season, and after this, let it bloom. Don't add too much nitrogen. Blooming season usually it's from the summer to the autumn, and the flowers, as I said, are small flowers grow on a stalk, on inflorescences, and it's whipping down. Colors can be white or red, of course, as I said before. Red, it's the most beautiful, and the white is just not at all, at least in my opinion. Except these edible leaves can be from the spring to the autumn, better in the spring, late spring until the early summer, before the blooming season. Cut the leaves, it's better, let the stems continue to grow. If it's stems that you don't need, so you can cut. You can eat it raw, you can put it in a salad, but better to use it as cooked. I cook it with rice, I think it's a good dish. Amaranth, they become, but use a fully grown leaf, but young. Mature leaves become too much chewy, fibrous, and it's not something that you want to eat so much. It's edible, but you can get better, so why not? Sowing requirements, so how to grow this plant from seeds. High humidity, sunny location, and temperature above 25 degree. It will be better, but possible also in 20 degree. It will start from 20 degrees. It can start to actually germinate. It's been 77. It's 25, 77 Fahrenheit. 20, it's 68 Fahrenheit. And above this temperature, above 20, you can start to sow. In 25, it will probably germinate, but it can germinate a little bit before. There isn't a problem. It's easy to germinate usually. Spacing, it depends the cultivar, but usually 20 on 30 centimeters, so it means 8 on 12 inches. If you have a lot of seeds, you can just throw them on the soil. It will grow probably if you have enough. But if you don't have enough, so make a little hole of 1/2 centimeter, so it means 0.25 inch, and keep the soil moist with full sun, and require average amount of water, possible also big amount of water. Don't let it dry, and keep the soil moist. It's take between 2 weeks and even can take 12 months sometimes, so this is crazy. I know that generally in Amaranth usually after 2 weeks they are growing, but you have a lot of the grow until 12 months, so this is like whenever it will grow, it will grow. This is how I discover that some of them actually can germinate in the winter. It's not normal, but this is what happened. And not just in one kind of amaranth, so apparently it's possible. Except this, it's easy plant to grow, it's beautiful, it's edible, and you should consider to grow it. That's all from growplants.org. Don't forget to subscribe, visit our website, and of course, if you have any question, just ask. You have here links about more videos, some lists, subscribe, and of course, purchase a plant, and this is donation for our channel. I hope you enjoy, and come visit us again.